Jasmine Hollinger here, founder of Mother's Yoke, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the products that I usually always have at home. So these are foods that either I consume or things that I incorporate into my family's diet, especially my daughters. So these are some things that I always try to have at hand. These are some of the things that you may be eating. Of course, if you have any kind of dietary restriction that prevents you from eating certain foods, that I may have on the table, of course, avoid them. But these are things that I try to always have because they're either easy to incorporate, they provide some type of nutritional value, they're healthy, and I can sneak them into things that I'm cooking for the whole house. They're easy to get, either some sorts of protein or some sort of healthy omega fats. So these are things that I try to always keep at hand, and they also give you some type of diversity in what you're eating. So I'm gonna start on this end of the table. And I don't necessarily endorse any brand per se. Now there are some brands on here that I particularly like, and I'll say if I like those, and that I use a lot of their products. So black beans and garbanzo, also known as chickpeas. So these are some beans that I always try to have on hand, usually dry, because they make great snacks. You can eat them alone. You can do all sorts of like protein packed treats and snacks. They go well with a lot of different things. So these are things, black beans and chickpeas are things that I really try to make sure that I have on hand. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to carrots. So I'm not big into eating carrots by themselves. I've never been a carrot lover, but I like to have carrots on hand because you can easily put them in a smoothie for yourself or your kids. I like the idea of getting the multicolored carrots because then you can incorporate the rainbow on your plate a little easier. But you can do them, carrots you can do as a snack. You can use them to bake with, and muffins and cupcakes and all sorts of things. So carrots is another thing that I like to try to have typically at all times as well. See, so spinach. So I like to have spinach or some type of leafy green. So whether it be spinach, kale, some kind of other kind of green like collards or mustards or something like that, I always try to have. So if I run out of one, I typically always have another one. I do like Organic Girl because what I found is sometimes I may buy things in bulk, and then sometimes it gets buried behind in the refrigerator and I might forget. So some products I find kind of can go bad a little quicker than others, and some products may last a little bit longer. But Organic Girl is one brand of spinach that I do like, and if I see that I bought more than what I may have needed on accident, or just I overshot how much I needed, you can always either put this whole container in the freezer, put it in some freezer friendly container to freeze them, and then you can easily take it out, put it in a smoothie or whatever you need it for. So I usually always have a green leafy vegetable of some sort. Also salad, like spring mix is another thing that I like to always have, or living lettuce for a quick salad or a quick breadless option to wrap foods in. Alright, so nut butters. So these get me in trouble because I sometimes like to overindulge. So you have to be careful with these. So I'm not really great at just munching on nuts that a lot of people, peanuts, almonds, a lot of things that people eat who are on a healthy diet or living a healthier lifestyle. So these are really easy to incorporate into smoothies or any kind of protein packed treat. So I really like the nut butters. I don't really eat a lot of the nuts themselves, just because I also have TMJ, so issues with my jaw. So crunching on things that are hard can be a little more challenging for me. So these are really easy, but again, you just have to watch your intake and not just sit up and eat the whole jar, which I have almost eaten the whole jar. So nut butter. So yes, I love these two. I also like sunflower butter as well if you don't do nuts. So sunflower butter is a nut alternative to if you want something like creamy, but that's another option. So frozen fruits. So I enjoy having frozen fruits because these are easy to put in your smoothie. They also make good treats for kids. So sometimes my daughter just likes to eat frozen fruit. So she likes to eat frozen blueberries, sometimes frozen strawberries. So frozen fruit is something also good, easy to incorporate within your smoothies, or like I said, just for a treat for your kids, especially if you have a child that may be teething and it's something that's safe for them to eat. That's another option. So I usually have either frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries. I also have some frozen peaches because they're right around the corner for really being in season. So those, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to the fruit. So apples, something else that I like to have because you can use them to make applesauce, which you can eat, or you can incorporate it into baked goods. You can also put it in smoothies, applesauce or the apples themselves. And so this is something else that I typically always have. Mainly my daughter is the one that eats most of the apples because again, it's kind of hard for me to chew on them, but I do put them in my smoothies though. So apples is something else that I love to have. Sticking with the fruit theme, I'm gonna move over here to bananas. So I always have bananas at home. Easy to put in smoothies. You can use them to make another good option for baked goods or bananas. All right, so salt. So I love to have Himalayan pink salt. This is a brand that I like, and I get it from Whole Foods, and it's just basically pink salt. So there's nothing else in here but pink salt. So I am a label snob, and I'm always reading to see what the ingredients are, and this is just pure pink salt, no anti-caking agents or anything like that. So this is just some brown rice. So this particular one is just a basmati brown rice, but I always have brown rice because I eat a lot of brown rice. And in California, Lumberg's is a brand that I really like, that I've been eating a variety of their rices for some time. So that's that. Chia seeds. So as you can see, this bag is almost empty, but chia seeds, I love to have chia seeds, hemp seeds, which is almost gone, as well as flax seed, because all of these are great plant-based sources of healthy fatty acids, omega-3s, omega-6s, and they also are good protein sources. They're easy to incorporate in smoothies, and you don't taste them. Baked goods, basically you can put it in virtually almost anything, and so I just really love to have all three on hand. So oatmeal. So I typically have a lot of oatmeal, and I will say that I really love Bob's Red Meal brand because this brand has a lot of gluten-free products, and they basically have simple ingredients, clean ingredients. So I really like this brand. But I always usually have rolled oats because I use them in a lot of things. So you can do just oatmeal, you can bake with them. It's a good source of non-meat source of protein. It's a healthy carbohydrate. So I really love to have oatmeal around. Okay. And continue with the grains. Quinoa is another one, so great alternative to rice. If you don't like rice, or you don't eat rice, or you can't have rice, quinoa is another great option. You can eat it by itself. You can mix it in smoothies, baked goods. Very good source of protein. So I really love to have quinoa. Ancient Harvest is another brand that I like and buy a lot of. Honey. I always have honey. I need some more, but local raw honey, something that I keep on hand because I use a ton of it in baked goods. You know, you can put in your oatmeal, things like that. So of course you don't want to overindulge because it still is a sugar. So pumpkin seeds. So I like to have pumpkin seeds around. Again, good healthy snack, great source of protein. You can mix it in smoothies easily, incorporate it in baked goods or protein bars. So this is something great to have. And then I love to also have some type of gluten-free pasta around, and I try to choose ones that have either one or two ingredients so that I can try to incorporate more than one food group in one thing. So like this one, for instance, has red lentils and quinoa in it, and it's got 13 grams of protein in one serving, which a serving is half a cup dry. So that's really you know, not a ton when you think about it, but I really enjoy to have some sort of gluten-free pasta to give myself an alternative to just straight rice. And you can do a lot of things with rice. With pasta. And Simple Truth Organic is Kroger's organic brand, and I like a lot of their pastas, and they do hold up. And there's some other pastas that I've posted in the past that I enjoy, like Ancient Harvest has a good gluten-free option. And I try to look for ones that are not just rice because I can easily cook brown rice. So I try to look for pasta alternatives that have lentils or quinoa or vegetables to incorporate, like I said, other food groups. So then broccoli. I love to have broccoli around. Typically yellow onions, so onions go in everything. I also like to have, I didn't put on the table, I forgot, sorry, but sweet potatoes. So I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. You know, your traditional orange sweet potatoes, Japanese sweet potatoes, purple sweet potatoes. If it's a sweet, you know, there's even white sweet potatoes. If it's a sweet potato that exists, I probably have eaten it. And that, I love sweet potatoes because you can eat them alone, you can cook them in things, like it's for baked goods. So they have a whole bunch of uses, and they're pretty healthy. And then lastly, we have some plain peppermint tea. So I put this on here because I have to have peppermint tea. So in the event that I eat something that I didn't have any business, intentionally or not intentionally, and my stomach gets a little off track, I enjoyed having some peppermint tea because it does help to settle stomach discomfort, as well as peppermint is supposed to be good for helping with digestion. So if, for instance, I may have eaten something a little bit heavier, I may just have a cup of peppermint tea just to kind of promote digestion. And then it is an alternative to drinking water all of the time, even though you have to have water to make tea. But I enjoy just having tea around. I also do drink a lot of matcha green tea as my coffee, so to speak. But these are some things that, like I said, I have usually on hand all the time, or more times than not, because these are things that I try to, or I incorporate on a more regular basis. Again, either I eat something I fix for the family. These are just staples in our diet. So with that, I hope everyone has enjoyed, and please feel free to comment and say these are things that I enjoy, or even things that you say, hey, well, have you ever thought about this to use on a regular basis? Because I'm always learning something new, and we learn from each other. And so with that, I'm going to tell you guys goodbye. It was a beautiful day in the South in Mississippi, but now I'm starting to get a little cold as the sun is setting, so I'm going to pack all this stuff up and go inside. But yeah, so please feel free again to post your comments and anything you think I should try, or say, hey, I tried something new, because a lot of this stuff, guys, like quinoa and hemp seeds and chia seeds, I was not eating this. I didn't grow up on some of this stuff. So a lot of these things I've just kind of learned, or others have introduced me to over time, and things that I try to again incorporate because they're healthy, they're easy to cook, easy to kind of gently coax your family into eating healthy if they're not already doing so, and help to diversify your palate. All right, so with that, I will be signing off in strength and dignity. Jasmine, y'all have a great Friday.